will die for respect and status. You tell me we won't get married? We'll die for we'll go to the front line of a war, and the only reason we don't walk away and abandon our post as artillery shells rain is because we're afraid of being mocked for being a coward. We'll die for status.
Facts.
So status is what it's all about. It's what it's always been about. If you wanted a man to marry you, status. And it's the same thing with nearly anything you want to do with a man. I don't know anything about your personal life. I'll be honest. I don't know, right? But I'll tell you this now. If this dude, this NBA player, believed that he would be higher respected amongst his peers and amongst society for taking care of you properly, that's what he'd fucking do. He doesn't feel that because either he's rolling with the wrong people or you've pissed him off in a way or something public's happened. I don't have a clue. But something's happened where he feels like if I take care of her, I'll look like a bitch.
Bro, you could look at Brittany Renner and see she's actually thinking about what Andrew Tate is saying, and she is applying it to her life. Meaning that whatever Andrew Tate is saying to her, she's absorbing it and she's thinking, wow, why couldn't I have understood like the way men think? Maybe I wouldn't be in this position. Maybe she would still be with sad basketball player. Maybe she would be able to kind of retain a relationship much longer and have a different perspective from the public on her, like the way people view her if she understood what Tate was saying, if she understood it earlier.
That's what he's scared of. If it was inversed, he had no problem giving you money because that's how men function. I'm telling you right now, as a man, I'm telling you what I would do. If I had a chick with a woman, right? And she went on the news, top G's this and fucking, like I said, I have no idea what you've done, but I'm just giving my personal made up scenario.
Oh, yeah.
She would go on the news, top G's this and he fucking lied to me. He's a piece of shit. Da, da, da. And then I bought her a Bentley. Women's be like, well, look, she insults Top G. She insults him, and he's a simp. Da, da, da. But if she was like, you know what? He's misunderstood. He's a good guy. It just didn't work out. Boom, boom, boom. I'd bet she'd be in a mansion, right?
Big facts, bro. Big facts, bro. All guys really want out there. If any ladies are listening to this, all your man really wants is to feel respected and feel like you provide some kind of status to his life, right? Like for you to come in his life and make his outlook, like the way society views him, more respectful. And a man would give you anything. Anything. Take my word, I'm a man. And I'm not saying I think exactly like Andrew Tate, but me and definitely lots of young men or old men share some of the same views for sure. And this is definitely one of them, bro. Andrew is hitting it on the head, bro. You notice how they're not interrupting him or anything. He's saying it in a way that they could absorb it, not feel disrespected, and think about applying this knowledge further in their life. Top G, bro.
And would that be me being a nice guy, caring about her? Or let's be honest, would it be me being a selfish piece of shit dude and saying, what makes me look better? Men are all about status. Is how we function.
It's a bit of both.
It's how we function as a whole. So society, this is where it extrapolates and gets interesting. When society with this new think has destroyed all of the baseline humanities and baseline understandings of how men interact with women. And now all the things we previously understood about what made a good man, what made a good woman, and how we should act together and how we should interact has been erased. Of course men are acting like dickheads, and of course women are doing wrong things, because nothing makes sense anymore. You've taken the chessboard and moved all the fucking pieces around. Nobody gets it. It should be very simple. I'm a man, I work hard, I take care of my woman. I'm the man of the house. She treats me with respect. She would never insult me or raise her voice to me in front of other people. She's a problem. She brings it to me in private. We act as a team. We work together. If we break up, she was a good woman to me. She fulfilled her roles the best she possibly could. I'm still a man. I'm going to take care of her. But all of that is gone. All of it's gone. All of it. And it's gone because of all the ideas we were discussing earlier. The feminism, the new age bullshit, the fucking dudes left and right and center. All these things... All these baseline things have eroded society to the point where now you have men ignoring their paternal instinct. You have men who will sit there and go, that's my child, but I fuck her. That's actually a massive observation to me.
Yeah, bro. Tate is dropping, bro. Why is this dude canceled, bro? It makes no sense. This dude is just out here spitting the truth, educating people, letting them know the mistakes they've made, how you could correct them. And like, I really don't understand. This guy is a walking W, bro. I don't understand why he gets so much hate. You know what I'm saying? Maybe people just don't like hearing the truth. People like straying away from the truth. But I mean, god damn, bro. I appreciate the truth, bro. I don't care if I'm pissed off or not about it, bro. Give me the truth. Let me deal with it. And I'm sure many of you guys are like that. Make sure drop the like. Make sure drop a like on the video too. Yeah, and a lot of men are pissed off. A lot of men are pissed off, and he's going to get into why they're pissed off.
Make about how fucked up society is, and it's all and it shouldn't be that way because men in a lot of the world are not like that. And so you have to look at all these small things. The small things we talk about, it's no big deal. She goes on boats in Miami. It's no big deal. It is a big deal because now that dude ain't going to want to fucking pay child support because you were on those fucking boats with his fucking the other team.
And the thing is that
do you think that men?
Yeah, he's not going to feel no sense of loyalty. Like, why should he be going to work, working hard just to give you money, and you out there living your best life like a fucking hoe? Making him look bad, not adding no status. You're just taking away from him. Like, why is he gonna feel obliged or like a sense of fulfillment doing? Even though he should. But I mean, if men just thought like men or were treated like men, then I think everything will fix itself. And in the inverse way, like both genders just gotta come together and treat each other with more dignity and more respect for sure. And if you guys are watching while Andrew is talking, the girls seem to be quiet. They're actually being respectful. They're listening. And also when they're talking, he's giving the same respect back. He's not jumping in, being disrespectful or nothing. So it's kind of like, you give respect, you get respect back. So a lot of you guys need to hear that. Some of you guys already know. So shout out to y'all. But, what you give the world is what you get back. What you reap, what you sow. Karma. What you put in the universe is what you get back.
That was well said, Sagittarius.
Thank you very much.
Do you think that men marry for like high status families? Like I'm thinking of like Ivanka Trump. Like would someone marry a girl for like status in that way?
Well, that is one of the most. I mean, if you look at arranged marriages, it's all for status, right? That's an example. But men primarily marry for. I'd argue that men, and I say this about men, but women do the same thing, right? Women love the idea of getting status from a man. Women love the idea, and this is where it actually gets a bit messy. The waters get muddy because women love the idea of bragging about the man they're with, but they can only brag about the man they're with if other women want that man. So you're saying you love women who get cheated, women love getting cheated on. That's not true. But women do not like men that other women don't want. If you were to say, look, I got my man, he's perfect, he's rich, he da-da-da-da-da, and every girl in the room would go, I would never touch him. She'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, I don't want him either then. What the fuck
But
is
you
this?
know, can I add on top of that?
But it's true, right?
That's
women
facts.
women want men that all the women want.
Do you know what's the best man that woman wants? Is the one that every girl wants, but he doesn't want them.
Okay.
A selective man.
Yeah,
I'm sure
That's more
But
valuable
that's
than
the
the top
problem.
But
chick
that's
that
the
gets every
fantasy.
You're
hoe.
saying
That's
that
the
men,
fantasy.
but Tate,
No, that's
you're
not
saying
the
that
fantasy.
men are
That's
now
not that
polygamous.
selective.
That is a fantasy, and I do understand what the girl in the middle is saying. I do agree with her that girls do want a man that other girls want but can't have. But the thing is, a guy left to his own devices, if he's such a high status man, he's going to explore those options eventually. Not maybe every day, not maybe once a year, maybe once every 5 years or something. Eventually, he's going to explore those options. So I guess that's why Tate is referring to it as a fantasy, because it's not going to go down exactly like she think it is. But there are definitely guys out there like that. There are exceptions to the rule. I would agree.
Women should accept that. That's the problem. Men are continuously disrespecting their woman. Like, yeah, you know what? You're with one, you can't be with one woman. Now you want to keep cheating with all these
But
different women.
that's not what he said. He's saying if you're gonna go for a high status guy, if you're gonna go for the top 5% of guys, that's what comes with it. And if not, then go for the average guy.
Can I just say that
Facts.
is it okay for average guys to stick with one woman then?
It's not about okay. It's okay for anyone to do whatever they want. I'm not sitting here saying what's okay and what isn't okay. What I am talking about is observations about the baseline realities of how humans function. What I'm telling is if you give a man unlimited options, like the men at the top of society have, on a long enough time scale, he will explore said options.
Facts.
That is a fact. Like I said earlier, you can walk into a car garage and buy a Nissan, and that's reliable, and it'll never let you down. Or you can buy a McLaren. You cannot sit.
Before he goes through the rest of his analogy, The McLaren is the high value guy. You're not gonna find too many. You're not gonna find that too much. And the Nissan is the regular guy. So you're gonna find the regular guy that's gonna cater to you, give you everything you want. But at the end of the day, you still want the McLaren, right? And the McLaren comes with I wouldn't say responsibilities would be the word, but you have to treat it differently from a regular car like a Honda or something. Just the maintenance, everything about high performance cars, like BMWs, for example. It's just more expensive.
Like women do, and go, I want the McLaren that's reliable like the Nissan. Well, guess fucking what? That's not real. So you have to choose.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Tate? Can I ask you something? Years ago, right, do you think it makes a difference? Because years ago, if you want to meet a man, you go out there and you actually talk. But now you meet a guy, he can go and check out your ID and see what you're all about. Don't you think that by them being able to look and see what you're all about, that makes a difference to how they perceive you?
Yes.
100%. I think society is fundamentally and utterly broken.
You're going to see them
I
nudes.
think the way that men and women interact is broken. I think
Everybody
that men
can
are
see
broken.
them.
I think that women are broken. I think everything is completely fucked. Genuinely. And this is where we go into the small things. We're talking about status. You're right about IG. If I go on a date with a girl and I look at her Instagram page, I'm sitting there thinking, does this make me look good or bad? Yes, I want her to be hot. Yes, I want her to have followers. Yes, I want everyone chasing her. But what's that caption about fucking city life? And what's this about? What's that? That's not, nah, that puts me off, right? So It's interesting. What's also interesting is the majority of women don't have a clue in the modern world what men find attractive. So we said earlier in the very beginning of this podcast.
That's facts, bro, because women aren't, I won't say indoctrinated. Women aren't taught to please a man. They're just taught to live like, I don't want to say a selfish life, but I'll say a selfish life. They're taught to think all about them, how pretty they look, what's the new bag, what's the new makeup, what's the new hair, what's the new this, what's the new that. They're not taught, how to like please the opposite sex or be, substantial other than, the way they look, the way they're perceived. Whereas men, like we gotta do a lot to attract females. We gotta be smart. We gotta be funny. We gotta be getting money. You gotta have a nice car. You gotta have a dope personality. You gotta have some form of status. You know what I'm saying? Like men have to build themselves up in order to attract the opposite sex. Because women, I don't know if you guys heard this term, but women play life on easy, and men play it on a different difficulty from women. So it's definitely two different understandings when you're going through life, two whole different perspectives. But people like Tate and Pearl, if they could keep dialogue like this going, I believe that both genders can garner a better understanding of each other for sure.
Podcast about men who want their dick sucked, all this bullshit. Men don't, that's not attractive to men. We don't want any of that. Most women, if you were to say, how do you attract a man, they wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo. They wouldn't have an idea.
I know.
They
want a submissive woman.
Hello, my
She
name is
kicks for
Denova.
him.
Yes,
Give
sir.
him a massage.
Yes, sir.
Great.
It's not
Yes,
just,
sir.
it's not even
Pat his head.
it's not just about that. One of the important things for being a man, especially in a relationship, is we want to be our woman. If I have a woman and I love her, I want to be her portal to the world. I want her to experience things through me and see things through me.
Facts.
So for that, I need a degree of innocence and purity for her. I want to be the first person to put her on a private jet. I want her to get on the jet and go, wow, I did it. Oh, you took me. It's like you wouldn't want to give someone a Christmas.
Bro, you saw how the girls smiled just now when he said that? Bro, men really do want that, bro. We want to feel like we're the first in everything in a girl's life. If we're not first, then we're like second. We definitely got to compete with somebody else. And we want as little competition dealing with you as possible because it makes us feel more, I wouldn't say secure, but it makes us feel more like the king. It makes us feel like we're doing something, like we're actually showing you something, And that's, for the ladies out there, that is very important to men. And, bro, you can see when Tate talks, these girls, their eyes light up like little girls. They remember when they were like, just talking to a guy for the first time, and they're very intrigued by him, bro. So I don't think he's a negative role model at all. If anything, he's doing a lot of positive.
Christmas present if they'd had 10 presents better than you beforehand.
Yeah,
would you?
like,
It's like, well, duh.
Yeah.
So as a man, as a woman, what makes you attractive to a man to a degree is your innocence and your purity. This is very important. And it can go down to very basic, simple things. I'll tell you, if I walk in a club, do you know who the hottest girl in the club? It's the girl who isn't dancing, isn't twerking on a fucking stage, not surrounded by dudes. When girls want male attention in a club, they start drinking, twerking.
We'll fuck
the
them.
most revolting, haram bullshit.
We ain't taking them home.
I may want to fuck you, but I don't want to be with you. If you show me a girl sitting in the corner, shy, I'm like, good. She hasn't experienced too much life. I can show her things.
Big facts.
And also, not just show her things. This is a very important point that I get attacked by the Matrix for because they completely misunderstand me on purpose. As a man, if I'm out here struggling and leading and trying to lead my household, I also want a woman who shares my values. I want to a degree to educate my woman and show her things and for her to agree with me. Like you said earlier, looking for a male role model. You want to be a role model to your woman. If she's too experienced with life, it's difficult to be a role model. Yeah. If she's sitting there shy and quiet, you can come along and say, no, you know what? Don't take the fucking vaccine.
But she knows too much.
And you can be a role model for her. You can't do that for a woman who knows too fucking much, knows too many dudes, been too many.
Bro, is this my lost brother or something, bro? I swear to God, like, bro, this guy here is spitting ultimate game, bro. He is the voice piece for the real man out there, not the man that wanna oppress women. That is not what this is about. This is for the man that want to be real man for a real woman, bro. And he's the voice for that, bro. Keep Tate safe, bro. Protect this man at all costs, bro.
Places. So it's this degree of purity that we're looking for that's super important.
I'm curious if you said if she's like done too many things, that's like bad. Right?
Yes, correct.
So, I'm not even talking sexually, like been on a private jet. Yeah. I'm curious because I lived
But how do you get on a private jet without sucking dick?
Oh, I was just curious because my dad's part of like he's top like 1% in terms of like income, and I was just curious, is it different if you did stuff with your dad?
Well, no, that's fine.
That's a good question.
No, not like that. Not sexual. No, I'm not like
she said private jet.
Yeah,
private. I know what you're saying. Well, I mean, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But my point is that we're looking for a true degree of innocence inside of females, and it's that innocence that's going to make us feel protective over them, and that the protectiveness is going to make us be good men.
Yes.
Okay. So when we're looking at society as a whole and how broken it is, I understand that men have a massive role to play, women have a massive role to play, but a lot of the paternal instincts and instinctual behaviors of men, because the instinctual behavior of man is to die for his woman. Like someone comes to try and take her, pull a sword, die to defend her, right? If you're going through life and you find that men don't really feel about you that way, that's because a lot of their instinct is being eroded by the fact that you, like you said, they look through your IG or they look through your life and you've lived so much life and they just feel like, there's nothing new I can bring to this girl's reality.
But I don't feel like that's true though, because like I think it's like I get what you're saying to a degree, right? But it's like you could be on a private jet 10 times, but it's going to be special because it's with you.
Yeah. Not for him, it isn't. Not for him. For him, it's special because it's your first time. Because men, maybe it's a biological predisposition, maybe it's just the way we're designed. But let's tie it back to sex. Virginity, first time. It's not that you've done it. It's that you've done it with the first time with me. That's what is important. It's experience as a whole that men find. It's just the truth. Call me misogynistic, cancel me, whatever. I'm telling the truth. I always have done. It's experience of life as a whole that men, to a degree, find off-putting. We don't want a woman who's had a bunch of trauma, had a bunch of experiences, done a bunch of shit, knows a bunch of people, been a bunch of places. That's the absolute opposite of what we want. We want the complete polar opposite of that. And what's funny is women want men who have done those things. I'll tell you right now, go out there and find a virgin woman and say, do you want to have your first boyfriend? Do you want to lose your virginity to a virgin man or a man or a man who's had a couple girls? She'll choose a dude with experience as a virgin herself. Experience is always coveted and respected in men. It's the opposite in women.
That's true.
So it's true. So we have to look at how fucked up the world is. Women, especially between their 18 and 28 or 18 and 25, let's say, are living these crazy lifestyles, these crazy lives with the most important people, richest people on the planet, doing everything that can be experienced under the sun. And then at 29, 30, some dude's expected to come along, know he's second place to X, Y, Z, and be happy with that.
Nah, he's not going to feel like a man, bro. What Tate basically said is that girls out here living their best life, flying off to Dubai, riding camels, skydiving, doing all this freaky rich shit, sucking niggas dick that don't really give a fuck about them. Then when they ready to settle down with a guy who they feel is a nice guy, who they've fucking this the whole time they was in the prime, and now he's coming up. Now they expect him to bring that into their life. And now he's not going to have a sense of fulfillment because she's already been there and experienced things. She's not going to be wild. She's not going to have like that all first time to Disney World type of vibe because he wasn't there. And now when he comes along, that awe factor is going to be missing. So he's going to feel like, the fuck, he's not getting anything from it. Back to like what they were saying, guys want to be the first. They want to be the initial one. They want to feel special. Fucking truth, bro.
And not allow it to hurt his ego, and sit there and pick it up and put a fucking brave face on. It kills him every day inside. That's the reality. He's in love with you, and you've been fucking where with fucking who? I can't afford a jet. I'm Joe Schmo. Okay. That fucking breaks their hearts.
Do you think that hoes can ever be turned into housewives?
Okay, I'll answer that question, and the answer is actually, truthfully,
good
yes.
Question.
Which I know a lot of people are confused about.
Sparkling water. Check it out, bro. Shout out to everybody out there that is drinking on sparkling water, bro. And if you can't afford to do it every day, make sure when you take your girl out, you order yourself some sparkling water, bro. You could have some vodka, you could have some water, some soda on the side of that. But make sure you get your sparkling water. The other day I was out with my girl and everything, and I had that same exact bottle. I took her out to a steakhouse place. We had that. I took her to a place called Mazza Grill. They had that. So I stay with my bubbly when I go
by. They can. If you're a good enough, high enough level man, you absolutely can turn a hoe into a housewife, but why the fuck would you? Because you don't have to. A man like me, I could, but I'm not low on options, so I would never decide to do that. If you're a billionaire, could you can find an old rusty car and rebuild it, or you can just buy a new one, right? So it's not about what could be done, it's about what will be done. So once women hit a certain status of man, I don't think women are stupid. I actually argue the fact that women have a beautiful intuition. I think that women, to a degree, their intuition is truly almost psychic. The number of times I've come home and she's like, "You were cheating." And I was like, "How the fuck does she know I'm fucking cheating?" Like, you have intuition and it's real. You guys are smart, right? And if they get to a certain echelon of man, they're not going to go anywhere because there's nowhere else to go. They're going to get to a guy eventually. They're going to stop at the buck and go, "You know what? Where am I going to surpass this specimen? So I'm just going to behave for him." So you could turn a hoe into a housewife that way. But why would a man at that level want to do that?
Why do some guys at certain, and this is obviously a celebrity example, but I'm sure we can all think of examples in like day-to-day life where a guy with a lot of options does pick a hoe and like wife her, like for example, Kim and Kanye. Because Kanye clearly has options.
She did not want to be a housewife. No, she was a project.
Okay, I understand. I'm just asking because some guys do pick.
Yeah, they do, and it's a really good point. And I have nothing bad to say about Kanye. In fact, I think a lot of the work he's doing now in terms of attacking the Matrix is important. But I can give you a generalized answer. But it's a man who is not true to his masculine imperative, which is going to fall for the propaganda machine, which is being purported upon him, who's going to believe that all the crap that is being told by society, like a female's past doesn't matter and all this shit doesn't matter. This is what's interesting in the fight against the Matrix, because people always say to me, "Andrew, why do you come here and say all these things?" They're literally trying to destroy your life for what you say. And the truth is, as a man, you have two choices. You either fight against the programming and the brainwashing they're trying to put inside of all of our minds, or you end up fighting against yourself. If you're a man and you sit down and you believe the garbage that society's telling you about how society functions between men and women, you're going to end up getting fucking wrecked, like these dudes do. They sit there and go, "Just because she's fucked everyone doesn't mean she'll do it again." Just because, and they sit there like dummies and they get fucking wrecked, right? You have to sit there as a man and go, "No, I don't give a shit what society's telling me. I understand something baseline about humanity," right? And that's why they make these poor choices. And a lot of men do make these poor choices, but it's only in the West. It's only in the West where this propaganda machine exists. You will not find a Russian billionaire doing this dumb shit.
That's definitely only on our side of the world, and people fail to realize that our side of the world is not the whole world. Most of the world still believes in traditional values. Some people say gender roles or whatever it is. Most people still believe that the man is supposed to provide and protect, and the woman takes care of the home and nurtures the kids and the spirit of the family. Most of the world does.
You will not find a Chinese billionaire doing this dumb shit. You do not go to Saudi and find a sheikh doing this dumb shit. None of it. You only find it in the West.
Do you think the values of the West are spreading?
What values?
So
name a value of the West.
Sorry.
Name a value.
Sorry, I might have misspoke. Ideals. I mean, like the ideas of the West. Like I've just gotten I get messages from people like from all over, and like in places like India, I've heard feminism is spreading there. Like I've heard that. Do you not find that to be true?
So, firstly, the West has no value. The only thing the West seems to defend fervently is LGBT. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not. I'm just saying it's the only thing that they'll stand up and fight for. I don't know why. It's weird. Like, they don't care about anything else. They don't care about children going without child support. They don't care about people dying in wars. They don't care about our parents being in parent homes. They don't care about crime. They don't care about no one being able to pay their energy bills. They don't care about nothing. But they give a shit for some reason about this one thing, and they'll fucking throw the flag all around the world.
Surrounded around sex.
That's all they care about. It's fucking strange. So that's the first thing about the values of the West. Second thing, the harder society and the harder the life is as a whole, the longer it's going to take for feminism to spread. Feminism only exists in a vacuum of an easy life. If you're living in a society like India, where life...
Bro, he's about to spit facts, bro. Y'all, bro. Me and this guy are like mentally telekinetic. I guess that's the word for it. I know where he's going with this, and I don't want to ramble on too long because y'all going to respect it more if you hear it from Tate. Go ahead, Tate.
Life is hard. Feminism disappears because the harder life is, the closer people naturally revert to their gender roles. If you got a bunch of 10 men, 10 women, stranded them on a desert island, and they had to survive, very quickly the men would do men shit and the women would do women shit. There'd be very little talk about feminism and equality, and all this shit would fucking vanish when shit hits the fan, right? So in countries where life is harder, feminism can't take hold because feminism can only exist in a vacuum of a very privileged life. I'm sure there's some kid in India who didn't get laid off some chick and he's complaining she's a feminist. There's a bunch of dumb shit, right? But I think the world is going to get a lot harder. I think the world is cyclical. I think it's been easy for a while. I think hard times are coming. And when hard times come, people are going to naturally revert to what gives them the highest chance of survival, which is gender roles, right? I have the best chance of survival being a man, and a woman has the best chance of survival being my woman. That's how she's going to function.
Do you think women typically are happier as housewives rather than a career?
Good question.
Depends on the career.
No,
Depends on the man.
The answer is absolutely and utterly yes, because giving life is the most beautiful thing a female can do. That's what you've evolved to do. That's the thing that men cannot do. I think that women who focus on having children and do their best to be good mothers in the end are the happiest females on the planet.
Being a mother and being a housewife is kind of different, though.
Okay, no, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're a housewife long enough, I'm going to assume you're going to end up having children. And I think that the sooner a woman has children, the better. If she can find a good man and have a child, that's a fantastic thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I don't see the point in a woman slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about her as opposed to slaving away for her own flesh and blood. I think that's a complete waste of a life. I think if men are already doing that, why would you want to go along and do that as well?
Because a career is not just slaving away for a corporation. A career can involve a million different things.
Well, that's exactly what a career is. It's slaving away for a corporation that doesn't care about you. And I understand you have to pay the bills, and I understand you don't want to be completely sufficient. You want to be self-sufficient. You don't want to be dependent on a man. I understand all that. But in an idealistic scenario, in the vacuum of ideology, if you could sit and be a woman and focus on having children or focus on doing a job, I think on a long enough time scale, you're going to be much happier with your progeny as opposed to working a job.
Can I ask you a question? Because I feel like we talk a lot about hoes, we talk about a lot of the extreme. There's a lot of gray matter in the middle, where a lot of women kind of get lost. For example, I think that one of the issues sometimes that I hear a lot about, and I personally may say I feel it sometimes, is that when you're also a quite educated woman, intellectual, intelligent, whatever, smart, a lot of the time, naturally, you speak in a way that stands out from other people, right? And I find that a lot of the time, that kind of intimidates some of the man them, where they start thinking, this girl is a bit too much. Now, it is not my fault that I'm smart. It's not my fault that I can put one and one together very nicely and very quickly.
I don't mean to interrupt her. She obviously is very intelligent. She's in touch with her feminine side. I can obviously see that. But she giving me Rihanna vibes. She sounds like she from the Caribbean. She even got like that facial structure to her. I'm not the only one that's thinking it. And if you were thinking it, comment Rihanna down in the comment section so I can know that I was not by myself.
What kind of man is going to handle that?
I have to give me a minute.
This woman laughs like I don't speak 4 languages and got 3 degrees. Now I thought.
Wait, is she trying to say you're not smart?
It's okay. I speak how I do for a reason. So please, sir, can you help me out? I'm trying to find a husband, the kind of beast that can handle a woman like me.
Well, this is another point, right? And I'm only answering generally, right? Because this is the first time I've met all of you ladies. You've all been very polite to me. You've all been very nice. I'm just talking generally. And I'm going to answer it based on your last sentence. Your last sentence was handle a woman like me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the average man's life like I just discussed earlier, how difficult it is, how competitive he has to be, and how many problems he has to fix. Do you think he wants to handle any woman?
Okay, so
like the idea of any degree of problem. It's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like the point of having a woman as a man, for me at least, is for her to be my peace and quiet. My life is stress. You see me, I'm rolling around with fucking security teams, and I got problems, and they're after me. And when I come home to my chick, the last thing I want to do is have to handle anything. I want her to just sit the fuck down and her make me happy. She used to be my positive energy. She used to be my sunshine in the rainstorm.
Bro. Shout out my guy Andrew Tate, bro. I appreciate Pearl for putting this together, bro. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Pearl too. Make sure y'all subscribe to me too. I'm trying my best as a small YouTuber. Make sure y'all drop a like, man. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna just play this last bit by Pearl because she says she's going through some trouble with YouTube. I'm sorry if you find my channel, you're already familiar with hers as well. I'm gonna give Pearl this respect for sure.
On TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.
Yes, sir. So if you guys want to help Pearl out, so you guys know what to do. If you guys want to help me out, just to drop a like, it's free. Leave a comment in the comment section. You could put anything. You could put W. You could put Rihanna, you could put Andrew Tate, you could put whatever you want to put. Just make sure it's positive. Definitely trying to spread positive energy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, y'all be good. Enjoy your new year. Take care of your family and tell everybody you love them, man. You know what I'm saying? Till then, peace out. Big dubs.